Okay, I'll give it to you exactly how it went down. My first inspiration was Buddy Rich. When I saw Buddy play, like on Mike Douglas or some show, I was like, wow, this is some amazing drumming here. Then as I got a little older, I discovered Billy Cobham. Billy Cobham was big. The first record I heard was Pleasant Pheasant.
It's mind-blowing.
And I was like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
And who came next? It wasn't Steve Gadd. It wasn't Harvey Mason, which was in my top. It was James Brown's drummer. God, why does his name just slip my mind? That's why I'm so embarrassed.
Funky drummer.
Yeah. Why does his name just slip my mind, just like that?
It'll come back.
Yeah, it will. I'm sitting up here going, oh my God. So it was that five.
Yeah.
It started with Buddy, and then it went to Billy, and then I started getting into James Brown real heavy, and then Harvey Mason, Steve Gadd. And Steve Gadd was the reason why I have an endorsement with Yamaha. I love, when I heard Steve Gadd, I'm like, to me, he encompassed everything as far as melody and style and movement and depth of feel on a kit that I wanted to. Yeah, and I think that's what it was.
Very closely related to the drum corps thing.
So there was one point where he got very sick in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I found out about it, me and a couple of friends, and it was Kenny Drew Jr., my friend Artie Durant, and myself. We found out where he lived in New York. And we came up with this plan. We were kids, we were teenagers. We said, you know what, we're gonna go knock on his door. And we're gonna say we're looking for a rehearsal studio, and that's how we're gonna get in. And we had it all. I mean, we would like, okay, this is how I was going. We knocked on the door, and someone opened the door. It wasn't Steve, it was his doctor. And we said, is this we're just kids, our eyes are probably like this. So we said, is this a rehearsal studio? And we said, no. And he said, I'm sorry. So he said, to be honest with you, is Steve Gadd here and is he okay? And the guy saw that we were like kids. He said, no, he's doing really good. And hold on, let's see if he'll say hello. So we always like,
no way.
I said, it's true. We was like this, oh God, he's coming. So we waited a few minutes. So he came out. And he said, hi guys, and we at that point we were like this.
Meeting your ultimate hero.
Oh yeah, it was like all of us, he's standing in front of us. So he shook out, he asked everybody's name, he shook our hands and he said, thank you very much, I'm feeling a lot better, I really appreciate this. And we just kind of turned and walked around like,
shook hands with God.
Right? So now, about 3 or 4 months, maybe around 3 or 4 months goes by, I get a phone call from my really good friend and teacher, a drum corps teacher. His name is Ricky Mangum. He calls me up and says, listen, I got a phone call that Miko Minardo is doing another record. He did Star Wars, which was a big hit, and they had like some drum corps drumming on side B, and they want us to just do something on there.
Participate.
So we wrote this piece and put it on the Superman album, and it was my first professional recording in Power Station, in the big room in Power Station. You can put an orchestra in there. So now, again, I'm 16, 17 years old. I go out to the coffee machine, and I didn't know that Steve Gadd was in the next room with Bob James, Richard T, Eric Gale, all those guys are in there doing their thing. So I go outside and Steve is standing there. So I do like this. I'm like mixing, I don't know what I'm mixing, but I go like this.
Stirring
and
something.
he can feel someone's like, so he looks over at me, he goes, hello. And I said, do you remember me? And he said, yeah, you're the kid that came to my house. And I was like, oh, you remember? And from that point, him and I have been like really cool. It's like I don't see him ever. I see him every once in a while. I bump into him. Then I bumped into him at SIR. We started talking, and he said, well, what kid are you on now? I said, listen, I play everything. I play anyone's kid.
Whatever I can lay my hands on.
I said, he said, I'll tell you what, I'll call Yamaha for you, and I'll hook something up. And I said, okay, great. Now, thinking in the scheme of his life, he's in the next room with Paul Simon. The man's busy. It's not going to happen. But thank you for at least the next day.
Seriously.
Yamaha called.
Yeah, incredible story.
Yeah, true story. True story.